everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio and welcome to a free card class. So this December, instead of doing a normal online class, most months I always do card club, and then I usually do something else. So some kind of online class, some kind of online retreat. In January, it's my Try It class, which those are my most popular classes of the year. So you can go to my website and I'll put a link down below the video so you can see all of those things, because registration for Try It, since it's in January, is going on right now. And then normally I also do, when you purchase, you always get a free gift. You always get the videos that are, I call VIP videos, that are only for people who purchase from me. And then usually you get the supplies to kind of follow along to make those. So this December, because I take the last couple of weeks of December off, and kind of as a thank you, I'm mushed around the way that I do things. So this month I'm doing 3 free card classes. So that's what you're watching today, is the second of the 3 free card classes. And I'm going to explain to you exactly how it works as we go along. But before we do that, a couple of things. My catalogs will be going out soon, within just days. They'll start to go out. It takes me a few days to do it. More than a few days. It takes several days to get them all out to you. But if you don't have anybody sending you one, let me know. Your first one's always free. If you haven't purchased from me since June, then when it gets closer to the time to mail yours out, you'll get a PayPal invoice if you've asked for that. And I just ask that you pay the shipping if you haven't made a purchase recently. And then I got lots of stuff stacked on my desk. I have been stamping all day long, and I still have to get a couple of other things done. But let me show you. I'll show you this first. This is Card Club for December. So this is the December Card Club. It's their first project. The other 2 projects you only get to see if you're in Card Club. So that is the first one that they'll be making. And then this is the alternate. And I wanted to show you this because it's the same thing that you can do with these free online classes. So for Card Club, they're getting the twine, they're getting the perfectly penciled paper, and then they can, I can't remember the name, the faceted gems. Maybe that's the name. Those are always tricky. The names can be so close. And then if they want, they can add the cottage rose. But if they don't want to add the cottage rose, I like to give them an idea on how to use the exact supplies that they got. So these are the exact supplies, which it's kind of hard to even tell because I switched a couple of the colors up. But this is the exact same supplies. It's the flip side of the paper and then a different stamp set, but still the twine, still the jewels, and then still the little add-ons that they got in club. So if you get this card class, or if you got my last card class, or you get the next one, and you don't want the exact same stamp set, you can switch it up. I know you're all creative, and I know some of you are saying, I'm not that creative. You are, trust me, it's easy to do. And if you go to my YouTube channel, I have lots of those. In fact, I keep thinking I need to make a playlist of just those so you can kind of get the ideas. So for this card class, I am using the Kindest Gnomes. So let's just talk just a second about the Kindest Gnomes. This set is retiring, so hopefully it stays around long enough. So if you want to do the cards exactly as I have done them, you will need the bundle. You don't really have to have the dies, but the nice thing about the dies, especially if you're into gnomes at all, or people that you give cards to are into gnomes, there is a new set, and you'll see it as soon as you get your catalog. I can't show it to you yet, and I didn't pre-order it. But there's another stamp set that's spring and summer that goes with these dies. So you'll be able to keep using them. So go ahead and get it now if you want, and then you'll have it. And then the only thing you're going to need is some adhesive, obviously. And then I'm coloring mine with blends and a little bit of like Wink Stella, and very, very minimal supplies. But mostly if you have this and you have very much stuff at home, you're going to be able to make these cards work. So when you order, you'll have to order $50, and you'll have to use the host code. Now there's a new host code that goes with this card class that's different than the card class I just did. So the Santa's Express thing is over. So if you want to spend $50 again to get this one, you can. And then there will be one more later this month. I'll probably post it right before I go on vacation, so closer to Christmas, early in that week before. And I hate when Christmas is on a weekend. It's like I lose more days or something, even though it's not. It just feels like it. So probably around that Monday before Christmas, because that's the last day I'm working, and hopefully I'm not working a lot that day. So when you get your card class, it will be just like this. You will also get This time you don't need to get the videos because you can go back and rewatch this one. You will get, and you can go to the website and see the pictures. Normally in my VIP videos, you get a special link and then photos, but that won't have to happen because you're all seeing this card class. So this comes, and then if you spend 50 or the other amounts that are listed in the little thing where the host code is, you'll get some free product as well. So this month I'm trying to, I don't hoard, but often I order 1 or 2 extras of things when I do classes. And so I am over, like my embellishments and my ribbons are just overflowing. So this month, instead of me telling you what you're gonna get, it's a little bit like Christmas. It'll be a surprise. So you'll have these in this particular class, and it's the only time I'm gonna do this. I have folded and scored them, the cards, because I want it to fit in a smaller envelope than when you get a normal class. So here's your embellishments, and then let's do this card class. So the first one, and I did use some stuff that's on sale, and I checked right before. So as of today, which isn't the day this is going to post, but as of today, this stuff is still available. So this are the foils. The foils are on clearance for $4. You get a piece of red, which we're going to use, a piece of gold, which we're not going to use, and then this fun green. I have taken them, and it'll come to you like this as well. I ran them through with the Woodland. I think it's called Woodland folder. I think it's Woodland. But this is on clearance for $4, guys. So if you don't have this, add this. But don't worry, if you're doing the card class, it's going to come. I just want you to see how cute that is. This has snowflakes on it. But when you run it through that folder, it's super fun. So I'm taking the Kindest Gnomes, and I'm not making Christmas cards with them. So they could be Christmas cards if you still need a couple. But if you don't have any more need for Christmas cards, these are more just winter cards. And then this is the Gnomes Designer Series paper, also retiring, not on sale, but it is retiring. So you'll get a little 3x3 sheet of paper. And then this set has so many gnomes. So these, if you got the dies, you can run this through because that will run through. I'm just going to hand cut this one to show you that you don't have to have them. So give me a second and I'll just trim this one out. It literally just takes just a second to trim that out. So we have that. And then you have a small piece of white paper. And these are, they might be crooked because I don't want you to feel like it has to be straight. And I'm going to pull one of the sentiments out of the set. Just stamp it in black. And this says, your kindness does not go unnoticed. Super simple, not a Christmas card at all. In fact, really good for post-Christmas because you could send it to somebody kind of as a thank you. Somebody hosts a party or somebody in your office does something nice for everybody. So many uses for this, and it doesn't even have to go with the gnomes. One of them has a gnome play on words, but this one does not. Just trim it. That's why you're just going to get a tiny little scrap piece of paper because your paper doesn't always have to be perfectly straight, especially on a gnome card. Because you know what? These are quirky. We're going to take this, use whatever adhesive you want. Just kind of put this in the center. It's 3x3, like that. Now, depending on where your patterns lay, and the other card I'm going to show you at the end has different, I used a different piece of paper because they both work, and I don't want to have to buy more of this paper for this card class. I'm trying to use up stuff I have. So you might get a different one, but think about where this is because it's going to make a difference where we put this on in a second. If you need to squish it up a little bit, then go ahead and do that. Then for this class, for this card, you need the iridescent ribbon. 2 of these ribbons are in the annual catalog. The other one isn't even in a catalog because it's already retired, but it's super on sale. I think it's like $2.80 and you get 2 spools of it. I didn't write the price down because I wasn't going to use it, and then the ribbon I wanted to have, I didn't have enough of. Like I said, I don't want to have to order. I'm trying to use up some stuff. So here's your ribbon. I'm going to add, this one's going to go a little bit lower than one on my other card, just because of the way the main part of this image is right here, and I don't want to cover that up. So just tie your bow. And then just make your bow. You don't want it to be overwhelming, but you'll have plenty of ribbon to work with. And then just add this on here. And I love the way that this ribbon, look at that, how it's playing off of the foils in there. which they've kind of lost the fact that they're snowflakes. I picked it because they were snowflakes and it matched the theme of the card really well, but then it didn't even end up mattering. And then just push this around the back. This is soft suede. Add some adhesive here. So super fast. This one, you don't even have, there's nothing you have to have, literally except a black pad and some scissors and some adhesive. You're gonna wanna put this on first, because then you can, I can't talk, position your gnome. Go down a little low. Then I'm gonna use some dimensionals, so you would need dimensionals, I guess. But you could, if you don't have them, just glue them on flat. But you can make a little list here of what you might want to add to get to your $50. And the card classes have kind of confused some of you that are in Card Club. It's different. Obviously, you can tell these are totally different projects than what we're doing in Card Club this month. Then you have 3 of the little embellishments. These are also on clearance. They are in Card Club this month, so you are going to get these if you're in Card Club. Super inexpensive. That's why I was able to give you the twine, because it's not, it's a more pricey ribbon. It comes with the 5 spools. But these are on clearance if you want to get another pack. It's really good, I think, when you get these times when we have the super fabulous stuff on the clearance rack for really inexpensive. If you have children at all that want to use your stuff, buy them their own stuff and put it in a little case or something and give them their own stamp supplies at Christmas, and then they won't touch yours. Although some of it's so cute, you'd be like, maybe I'm going to keep this for myself. So here's this one. You can see the 2 different kinds of paper. It doesn't make a difference which one you have. There's probably 6 or 7 different gnomes on that piece of paper. So everybody's going to have a different gnome. But there's a fun little thank you card. So that's your first card class project. I didn't want to call it VIP videos either, because I didn't want to confuse you in January when we go back to the regularly scheduled program. Then for this one, again, we are going to make not a Christmas card. So this is just a white base. This is a false front. So it's the same folder. Remember, that's on sale for $4. And I just ran it through because it's easier when you're going to do this to have it on there. And then this is a piece of the Hostess paper, which is super cute. Now, if you need a Christmas card, do it that way. If you don't need a Christmas card and you just want, this is just a fun, like, thinking of you kind of card for January or February, or, you know, whenever it still is so cold that we can't go outside. So I'm going to flip it to the pink side. And then you have a little piece of white. I'm going to stamp the little gnome. And you can pick whichever one. I think this is, I cut it big enough that they'll all fit. Put this on here. Again, if you have the dies, you can run it through the die cut machine with the die. If you don't, just hand trim it. And then for this one, I am going to use this saying, and it says, "You know me so well." When you stamp on designer series paper, make sure that you don't wiggle your stamp, but give yourself enough time that that ink kind of soaks in, so you're sure that you can read it. And then for this one, you have a piece of the sorbet ribbon when you're going to put around your card. But because this ribbon, the ends are fun, that's why I did it. So tie a little knot first, just to kind of hold it in place. And then tie your bow. I didn't do that very even. I have a short one and a long one. And then take your ends, do yours a little bit more even. I confused myself because I did it wrong. And then just separate those ends out. Actually, I can make these a little bit smaller. Go. And then another thing that's super on clearance right now is this Snowfall Puff Paint. I think it is $1.80. Great deal. But if you're going to use it, I'm going to give her a little patch of snow, a little patch of snow. I hope it's not a her. That's a heck of a beard for a her. For him to sit in. But it needs to be heated. And you don't want to heat it after you've put your adhesive on, because then it can melt your adhesive. So I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to take my, it's kind of blizzarding in this little woodland forest. I'm going to get just a tiny bit on here. So kind of hold it. You can see it starts to drip on its own. But this is quirky and I'm not going to cover up anything. So I'm just going to let this sit. It does need to be heated, but I think it heats better if it has just a moment to kind of start to dry on its own. It doesn't move around quite so much. And we will go to coloring our little gnome. Now I said that I am using, I didn't get any scrap paper, hold on. I'm using blends. You don't have to use blends. You can use something else if you'd rather. I have the sorbet, and I'm going to do it really quickly and show you how I did it, so you'll be able to do the same in your card class if you want. And you could use, I'm not even using any pink on this because the snowflakes are pink, but it doesn't mean you have to use pink. So I'm going to kind of outline his hat with the darker of the sorbets. I mean, it's a little gnome guy. He doesn't have to be a work of art. And then just kind of fill it in with the soft. And make sure you don't go all the way to the edge, because if you do that, these blend and they bleed. So if they bleed, then they'll go outside the edge. So just kind of go right up to it. And then if you need to hit it at the end with a tad bit of color to kind of fill it up. And it also doesn't matter if there's a little bit of white. When you look at artists who know what they're doing, they often leave white space. See, just a little bit of light. Then for his face, I am going to use the natural tone. So I have the 1000 and the 300. That'll be his boots. Those of you that are in Card Club, remember this month you can add the natural tones blend to your package. And they're 25% off, and I'm paying your shipping, handling, and tax. So what a bargain, because I want you to have them. I want you to be able to use them. So here I used them for natural toned skin. And then I have the 300, and I'm just going to kind of real quick go over the bottom of his boots. Then I'm going to take my light smoky slate. And a lot of these colors can be substituted. He can obviously be wearing whatever you want him to wear. And I'm just going to add some gray highlights in where his beard is. And then to just kind of get those so they're not super straight and just an obvious line, I'm just going to take my color lifter and just blend those around. There should be things on this. I know that you don't all have all of it. And if you have somebody buying for you for Christmas and you need a gift certificate, or you want for me to send them a hey, get this for her Christmas little email, I'm happy to do that for you. So now I'm going to use the light Night of Navy. There's so many of our blues that you could use. And I'm just going to color in that much. And then I'm going to set that aside. And then I'm going to use, I don't even know what this is, dark mint. And I'm going to do the same thing on his shirt. Again, it's not a work of art, it's a gnome. And then I have Pool Party for his mittens. And this is one, I think this is the only gnome where you can see his eye. So I'm just going to dot a little bit of Pool Party in there. And now I'm going to go back again with my Night of Navy, because I'm just using one colors on these because, again, gnome, quirky. But where the second layer of the same color goes over the top, then it gives it just a little bit more. See where it's a little bit darker there? And do the exact same thing on his shirt. Then if you have the die, you bought those, go ahead and run this through, if I can pick it up. Ugh. See, that just cuts that out, so I'm going to do that. Isn't he adorable? He's so cute. Now we need to go back to this that needs to be heat set. So you can use, with this, you can just let it dry. It doesn't get as puffy if you just let it dry. You can use your embossing tool, or you can use a hairdryer on the high setting. And we're just going to puff this. It puffs so much better because it doesn't run all over the place now that we've kind of let it have a minute to sit. And then these little snowballs that I kind of just smooked on here. The ones on the side where my thumb is, I don't have teeth. Those are going to get covered up by my pink piece in just a second. So we'll grab the pink piece. This one you want to make sure you don't get your ribbon because it can melt the ribbon. There we go. I think that gives it a really fun winter. This would be great for a child's birthday card if their birthday is in the winter or in the summer and they love winter. Stick this all together. And remember, the puff paint's on clearance for $1.80. It's another good thing you could put this for $1.80. I know so many kids that would just love to have it. Now, when you heated this, it's going to make your paper be a little wobbly, so you need to use a little bit more adhesive than you might normally. And you can also put something heavy on it to kind of let it. And you see my other one in a second, it's already settled down a little bit. Put this over here. Grab my dimensionals. And he's going to go right in his little snow patch right here. So kind of wherever your snow is, that just determines where where you will put him. And then for this one, because you know I am not a hoarder of embellishments, and for this one I happen to have enough that you can have 5 as well. Because I know some of you, even though I tell you to put 5, you don't, because you don't want to waste your embellishments. Even though putting them on a card that is not my take your pick that has my guppy end. I don't see where I laid it. But I know you're like, she's crazy that she puts 5 on there, but you're going to put 5 on here and then you're going to be like, oh, 5 is beautiful. So these are the iridescent rhinestones, and they will just add to this fun snow. This would be perfect for a little girl's card in January if she has a birthday, because the pinks and the glitters, and this is why you need your guppy thing. I just had it when I made these cards, and I literally made the cards and then I had a bowl of pumpkin soup and then I started filming, so I probably laid my heat tool on top of it. Or the catalog, I bet it's under the catalog. So here's this one. You can see that this one has flattened itself a little bit, but pretty much the same. This is a great embossing folder, and remember, it's on sale for $4, and I think they're normally like $11. So another great bargain. Now for our last one, this is a little bit different. I am a huge fan of mushrooms. I think it's from being a child of the early 70s. And there were, you know, mushrooms on all kinds of things at Hallmark. I still have some of them. So you have a piece of balmy blue, another piece of the foils. Remember, it's on sale for $4. That's just going to go here. I was tempted to run it through the trees, but then I thought it doesn't really have anything to do with what we're going to put on this card. Then this is I think it's 2.5 by 5.5 sheet of the paper from the Gnomes, just with the mushrooms. And then you have a piece to stamp your mushrooms on. Now for this one, and then a little piece for your words. I keep losing those. So for this one, I'm not going to stamp it in that color. You want a light color. So I went with Blushing Bride. You could use saffron. You could use papaya. There's several colors that would work. You just want it light because we're going to do the no line coloring. This class, if you did the last free card class, because we used memories and more, there wasn't as many kind of technique things for me to show you. This one, there's more. So we have that. I stamped a little bit dark so you'd be able to see it. The first time I did it, I stamped off and then I stamped again because it was only me needing to see it. So I'm going to use some of the same blends that I did on the first card, and then I'm going to pull in a couple of others. So for the bottom of my mushroom, see these mushrooms here? That's kind of where I got my color scheme. So I'm going to go with the dark and do the bottom. So for this time it doesn't matter if it bleeds because we're going to trace right over the top of that. And if you do a light enough color or even if you do papaya, then it will just disappear. I color dark enough, I can probably get mine to disappear even though I stamped kind of hard. So any place it's got those lines, I'm just going to do the shading there with this. And then I'm just going to give it a little bit more around the edge. And I can kind of get that ink to disappear. And it doesn't matter on this, like I said, if you go outside the lines, because you're now doing the line. So this is becoming our line. I'm just going to add maybe a highlight of it there. And then I'm going to fill the rest of it in with the light papaya. On parts of this, I'm going to like let it fast forward so you don't have to listen to me and you don't have to watch it at full speed. But I want you to see it happening since you're going to be creating it yourself. So there's the bottom. And then I'm going to go up here on this little window, and it's not on this piece of paper. It was on one of the other ones, and you can look in the catalog. This up here, they kind of have it in these colors as well. So I'm going to do, I think this is the light that's still in my hand. And then if you don't have papaya, you can use petal pink. So I'm going to take my petal pink, just kind of show you that it's not a horribly different color in the blends. If you stamp with it though, this is a lot lighter than the papaya. And I'm just gonna add a little bit here. And then it's gonna be the insides of my windows because we're gonna add a little bit more color to those. Then for the door, I have, again, 2 from the natural tones, and we're not doing any skin because these are browns. You can use them on whatever is brown in nature. I have the 100 and the 400. So I'm gonna take the brush tip. This is part of the reason I did it darker so you could see this, because it was hard for me to even see. And I'm going to brush this kind of over this whole part of the door. So if you do this light, you do need to be careful because the brown does make it kind of disappear. So we have that. So that is the 400. And it is all gone now, right? And now this is the 100. It is the darkest of the ones in the natural tone. I'm just going to kind of outline this. And I don't want one straight line. That way, if it's a little bit crooked, which it will be, it looks more hand-drawn than colored in crooked. So see, I've just done that, and then go back to the other side and do the same thing, and then you can kind of fill in the middle where they meet. So once that's done, and again, you want to leave some white, so don't feel like it has to be perfect. There you go. And then it has those lines that go across the middle. You probably can't see them anymore. Actually, I'm going to do the other lines first. Now of the 400, which is what we colored the whole door in with. And these kind of just go down. And then do the next one over. And doing it this way, I'll be able to match those center ones up when I put the brown back over the top. So skip that one. They're really hard to see. Well, I can see them. I mean, for you. They're not the easiest thing in the world to see. So if you want to be able to see this, that's why I used a darker color. And then this one over here. And you can go back one more time too if you want, just kind of give those a highlight. You can use a different color of brown. This kind of helps if your lines are crooked. Oops. That was crooked. So I just went right on lines. Now this, I'm going to hit right here, and this is going to kind of match all those up because this is a darker color going over those lighter colors. Do the same thing I did around the door frame. And then the handle's right there. Well, it's pretty good, except for I colored that out of line. And then I'm going to take just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of the 400 and add it up here. And then I'm going to go back and hit that with the papaya. This is the brush tip, so it's a little bit wispier. So up here, I'm going to get the papaya and blend this in just so it has a little bit of wood tone to my window. And over here, I'm going to do the same thing now with my 100. And again, just wispy. Just kind of barely hit your card because it's really hard to draw a circle. But because our lines have disappeared, you can just kind of make your own lines. And then I'm going to do the same colors that I did on my other one. So I have the sorbet, and then I also have some dark real red. So let's go with our dark real red first. And this time I'm going to do these highlight lines, which are super easy because the Stampin' Up! Artists know what they're doing and that's where they put them. So we're just gonna go with their expertise and just outline these. And then I'm gonna trace this. And again, as long as it's pretty much on the same line, it doesn't matter because we are now, this is becoming our line. And it kind of looks a hot mess till you're done, but when you're done, it's great. Now I'm gonna go with my dark sorbet and do the same thing that I did on the papaya down here. So first I'm just gonna kind of go around these edges. And now I'm going to get my light of the sweet sorbet. And there we go. Then I'm going to take, well, if you have the die, do this. I was going to do my Stella, but if you do the Stella and it's all the way wet and you put it through your machine, then it can stick. So I'll do that after. So run that through or cut it out either way. Super cute. Now I'm just going to take this, just a little bit of Stella. I haven't squeezed it because I don't want it to be like super glittery, and I'm not going to do the door or the little, yes, I will do that. I didn't finish blending that, but you can go back and get it. Then for this ribbon, this is ribbon that is on the current clearance rack. It retired from the summer catalog. It was part of On the Horizons. I think that this is maybe $2 or $3 and you get 2 packages of ribbon. So I didn't have the papaya ribbon that I wanted to use. So I went with this. I was like, well, I have some of this, you know, my hoarding problems. Not hoarding. There was something that we used in Card Club, and sometimes with Card Club, if I'm afraid something's gonna run out, then I get extra of it. And look, it didn't run out. It didn't even, still hasn't even sold. But sometimes I just have a couple of extra packages from Card Club. Now I use the puff paint on just the one card. You can use it on any of these. Although this particular design doesn't have so much snow in it. But you can use the puff paint on any. You can use the Wink of Stella on any. Then you have this little piece here. It is Pool Party. The back of our card is Balmy Blue, and then this is Pool Party, and I'm gonna get the one that says Warm Wishes. Again, you'll have a crooked piece of paper. Well, if my husband helps cut them, they'll be straight. When I do it, these little things, I just cut with scissors. So take this, and you're gonna leave this end here and just trim up against it. And then just cut a little banner tip into this part. So you're just cutting a triangle out. You want to make sure that your ends are either both pointy or both not pointy. And take my ribbon. Kind of a mess here. And it's just going to go around this piece right here. If you want a winter card, don't use that piece on here and just do this and maybe mix it with the trees. You can do whatever you want with what you get. But this is in case you want to do a little bit of mindless stamping where you just copy. But I know you're all creative. Add this in here, just in the center. Then onto your card. And then take your little banner here and put this line here so it just lines up straight with your card itself. Might as well do this one with dimensional since I did the others. I think that I did. I can't remember. And I only made these this morning. But sometimes I use a dimensional, sometimes I don't. But this does make your card a little bit more sturdy. And then grab for your embellishments. And for this, you have the pearl hearts. I love them. And the quirkiness with this card is just perfect. So I'm gonna put two of them down by my sayings on this one. And this is the most perfectly shaped. The hearts are all kind of funny. I'm gonna stick it up here on my mushroom as a little wreath above my door. So here's this one. Again, it doesn't have to be a Christmas card. The door I did a little bit better on there and then I did on here. So there's your first one. And I am going to go through and show you them all again and let them lay there without my hands for my Instagram shots. For those of you who watch my sped up videos, I like to have a shot at the end where my hands aren't in it. And I'm gonna do each of these as their own Instagram post, I think. So we're gonna go in reverse order now. So if you wanna do the card class, all you have to do is, these are a lot bigger than on here. Sometimes when I'm filming, it's a little bit over much. But just place a $50 order. Use the host code. Unless your order is, if it's over 150, you don't need the host code because then Stampin' Up! Is going to give you free stuff. And I want you to use your free stuff from them. So let's do it like this now. Here are our projects. And then there will be one more card class. I can't tell you what it is. A couple of people have been like, do you know what you're going to do next? If there's something that is still on sale when we get to the 19th that I feel like I might do the snowflakes, but I don't know. I may do something new and then you could, I don't know. I have no idea. So don't ask me what it's going to be because I don't know yet. And today I didn't know what this one was going to be until a couple of hours ago when I sat down to create these cards. So that's what I have for you today. If you're not on my email list, then join that, and that will always give you all the most up-to-date information. Have a great one. Bye.